Dalia Dasake, a senior fellow at UCLA Berkeley Center for International Relations. Great to have you with us. So, this war we've been speaking about for 2 years, it's been absolutely devastating. This new ceasefire deal is being described as a historic breakthrough. From your perspective, how would you describe the first phase of this agreement?
Well, it's certainly good news, and you can see it from your reporting how much relief and celebration there is in Israel and Gaza across the region. So if it hopefully will happen within the coming days, where you get the key elements, most critically, an end to the fighting, a release of all the hostages, Israeli hostages, and a surge of aid, which is so desperately needed. If those things happen, this is a huge first step, but I think we're still short of calling it a breakthrough. And we need to, I think, pause and understand that after 2 years of so much destruction and devastation, you can't just snap your fingers and reverse everything overnight. So it's the real question is how difficult it will be to get to the next stages. And there are serious challenges ahead, despite the good news today.
Yeah, serious challenges and, of course, quite a few stages. The first part of the stage, of course, is this hostage prisoner exchange, which could happen as early as Monday. How pivotal is that exchange to the credibility of the entire deal, and what risks could potentially derail it?
Well, it's incredibly critical. This is one of the major Israeli war aims, and let's be realistic here. To get to this even first stage ceasefire deal, both sides had to give up on maximalist objectives. So the Israeli aims were dismantle Hamas and get the hostages out. If this succeeds, they will have accomplished a very critical war aim, and also an aim that is very, very important to the Israeli public. The majority of the public wants this war to end, wants the hostages out. So without that, it's going to be very difficult to see the Israelis motivated to end the war. And Hamas ultimately did not get its, full interest in having an Israeli withdrawal all the way out of Gaza. There will be only a limited withdrawal. That's a key question of whether Israel completely withdraws at the end of this process. But it is surviving. It is not a dismantled organization. It's weak. It's diminished. It's not capable of attacking Israel again in the way we saw it on October 7th, 2 years ago. But it's still there. And so I think those are the big challenges. And the security question is most critical. And this, even if this first phase happens, the real question is going to be, who's going to demilitarize Hamas? Who's going to enforce that? How do you make sure there's enough security to get rebuilding and the difficult governance questions underway? These are not simple issues.
Yeah, certainly those aren't simple issues, and either is the humanitarian catastrophe that we have been discussing that's been unfolding in Gaza. This plan promises a surge in aid. How quickly could we see meaningful relief on the ground, and what are the logistical and political bottlenecks in getting it in there?
Well, I think this has been an ongoing issue, but if the Israelis have the political will, and I think they will, with President Trump putting his full weight behind this agreement, I think no side has an interest in scuttling it, at least at this stage. The question is whether there'll be follow through. But the UN is prepared. One of the good news aspects of the new plan is that it is not going back to this very poorly designed humanitarian aid structure that was really actually a killing field for Palestinians. It is going to return to UN mechanisms. I think those mechanisms will be ready and able and prepared, but the border has to be open. The Israelis have to be able to facilitate it. And you need security on the ground. You need the fighting to be stopped. And so we need to have a sustained end of fighting, not just a pause, but a sense that this is it for good, that this is really the end of the war. We had a ceasefire in March. It broke, the aid started coming in again relatively quickly, and it broke down 3 months later, and we have the 8 months of devastation. It's what's so tragic that it took so long to finally get to this day. So if the political will is there, if you start opening the borders, secure the situation on the ground, I think that we can see a dramatic change very quickly, and it could not happen soon enough.
Yeah, exactly right. Hopefully this is indeed a success. Dalia Dasake, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.